They're really good again.
Oh, they've been playing well. Are we live? We're live.
We're live. Okay, so we're talking about hockey. We got a week left in that season, right?
Yeah, just to start off here, Friday marked the start of the best time of the year for sports from about Friday through, well, you can argue that it started a couple weeks ago with the tournament, but
Yeah.
Friday really was the start of, just every day you got something to watch.
Yep.
With the Final Four, hockey, basketball going to start their playoffs, baseball, you got the Masters, you got the Derby coming up.
WrestleMania, if that's your cup of tea, which it is ours.
Into that, I feel like we'll probably end up talking about it at some point today.
Yeah, it's probably going to come up.
So, anyway, I am Rob. That's Chris.
Yep.
There is only one game left in the college basketball season.
There is, and a Big East team is represented. So,
yeah.
We can keep talking.
Yeah. So Villanova beat Oklahoma yesterday.
They did.
You could say that.
You could say that they beat them down because that would be accurate.
If you ever wanted to see the bench mob play in the Final Four, which, yeah, I'm really glad they were able to do that because that's nice. That's a nice story they'll be able to tell.
It is. It's nice. And they were, I guess, mad that, it didn't happen in the Elite Eight, so they made it happen in the Final Four.
And just right off the bat here, we can go right into a wrestling reference. The first, 10 or so minutes of this game, I thought we were going to get a little bit of Sami Zayn versus Shinsuke Nakamura.
Shinsuke.
I knew I'd mess it up, but it.
Yep, you pronounce that as it is spelled. It's okay though.
To John Cena versus Brock Lesnar.
Yeah, that was a total squash. And as I referenced in the recap, there was no shame in tapping out Oklahoma. I know Bailey passed out to Asuka, which still makes me really sad right now. I'd rather not discuss what happened on that match. But there's not always valor in letting yourself get beat up. So you could have tapped out and just quit. It was okay. No one would have blamed you. And
to be honest, I do feel a little bit bad for Oklahoma because.
Oh yeah, I do too.
But he healed a lot better than what we saw yesterday. Lon Kruger's a real good guy, but as it stands, here we are.
Yep.
Different.
Was it a rematch margin of 67 points from the time these two played in December, and I don't know. I had to listen to it on the radio mostly, so I don't know what was said on the broadcast. But John Thompson and Clark Kellogg and Kevin Kuzler made a point about how December really didn't mean anything.
No, it really didn't at all. I don't think that was referenced much at all in the broadcast from what I remember.
Because John Thompson in particular. You don't win national championships in December. And, I mean, he's right.
Yeah, exactly.
I think the biggest thing that stuck out yesterday, if I had to pinpoint one thing for Villanova, Josh Hart.
Yeah, he definitely got himself out of the slump that he put himself in against Kansas. He didn't exactly have a shot that day. He shot 6 for 17, but then last night he goes and shoots it was 10 for 12 or 11 for 12 or something ridiculous like that.
10 for 12.
Yeah.
And are we just at the point where Daniel Trefu has to roll his ankle and scare everyone just once a week?
I guess so, yeah. I guess so.
Yeah, I was driving most of the day yesterday. I did DVR the game. I didn't get a chance to rewatch it yet, but, from what I heard on the radio and from what I've seen, it was bloodbath.
Yeah, I think when Buddy Hield hit that opening three-pointer, I think there was a little bit of a scare factor in there, considering how quickly he got off to a hot start against Oregon and how quickly he's gotten off to a hot start in just about every game that he's played this season. Except for the last time he played Villanova, they held him in check to just 18 points, and they held him in check again last night. Their defense obviously has been showing up big time in this NCAA tournament. And yeah, it felt like for a while that Oklahoma and, like you said, Oklahoma and Villanova were trading baskets and whatnot, but then Nova just kept getting really hot every now and then, and they pushed the lead up to 14 going into the first half, or
Yeah, I
going
think
to
the
halftime.
first
Whatever.
half they had their run was
It was a significant one. I don't remember what it was though, but
it was 13 or 14 nothing. The second
Yeah.
half they went 25-0, but
Mhm.
yeah, I'm not gonna say never in doubt because after he hit the open shot, it was a little bit. I was, is he gonna go off? But that ended up being his only three of the game.
Yeah.
And,
So
a lot was made about at Reliant Stadium in the past, shooters haven't been been able to shoot well there, but it didn't stop Villanova.
exactly, yeah.
Villanova went 11 for 18 from deep. And just something we'll get into, North Carolina shoots threes at a similar clip to Villanova, so they're not going to shoot themselves out of the game on Monday like Oklahoma did.
Exactly.
But we'll get into North Carolina a little bit.
Yep.
Yeah, I think in the beginning of the second half, was it when Jordan Woodard got the 3 free throws and then missed the last one and got his own rebound?
Yep.
I thought that might lead to a little bit of a turning point, but all it did was make Villanova angry.
Yeah, exactly.
If I had to really relate it to something in my sports experience, Reggie Bush doing these flip into the end zone in Bears Saints.
Yeah.
Where everyone's like, oh, that might fire them up. Yeah, no, it just made the other team angry.
Pretty much, yeah.
So now here we are, You got this team that had their fair share of doubters all year, especially after losing to Virginia and Oklahoma. Xavier ran their non-conference. Villanova wasn't the team to beat in the Big East anymore.
Nope.
Well, here we are.
Yep, here we are.
And, we said all year with regards to, especially Georgetown and Villanova in the past that the tournament's crapshoot. You're seeing the other side of the coin now.
Yeah, exactly.
I mean, I'm not saying Villanova's, squeaking these games out, but you get good matchups.
And eventually the shots were going to fall. They weren't going to go cold every time that they were in the tournament. It's just, it wasn't likely to happen, especially considering they were always a good team.
Oh, yeah.
It's not like they were overrated or anything like that.
No, exactly. And so, now you're at this point, and the Final Four is weird. Because any other sport, if you just make it to, the near the end like this and you lose, it's still not the best thing. I mean, I'm not happy with how the Cubs lost last year. But with the Final Four, that's something on its own that's worth talking about and worth being
exactly. Yeah.
Now, when you're at this point, where at worst you're going to be a national runner-up, obviously you want to go out and win the game. It's a winnable game for Villanova. We'll get more into it. But just on the surface, again, be happy that you made it this far, but don't be satisfied. And I don't think that they're not yet.
Exactly.
And, just going real quick off of the KenPom here, he does have Villanova projected to win at a little bit higher of a percentage than I would have thought. He's got him at 56. I thought it was going to be North Carolina at about 53.
I think that's fair, though.
Yeah, I mean, I haven't watched a ton of North Carolina this year. I haven't watched a ton of North Carolina in this tournament. So, we can switch to that game real quick. I don't think it was much of a surprise that they beat Syracuse.
No, not really. I think that was the end result of that was pretty expected. I know Cuse had made a run to make it somewhat close, but then UNC just kept firing back. Page was shooting well. Bryce Johnson was Bryce Johnson, as he often is. And everyone was doing their part. That's why this team has been such a well-oiled machine. That's why I picked them to win all the way back in the preseason. So when they want to be the best team in the country, they can be, and they've proven exactly that. And second half, North Carolina has tended to show up in this tournament, and they've just been unstoppable.
Yeah, I mean, just looking at their NCAA tournament games. It's a lot like Villanova, where they haven't really been tested all that much. Because, like you said, in the second half, I know in Providence they pulled away in the second half, big time.
Yeah.
I know against Gulf Coast they did too, because Gulf Coast actually was in that game in the first half. So we'll have a big preview coming. We're just looking real quick. You can argue, as you so often can with the NCAA tournament, that the two best teams in the country are here right now.
Yeah, you definitely could. Obviously some people would think that it's Michigan State or Kansas, but North Carolina and Villanova have been two top tier teams. Patrick Kane just scored another goal, by the way, Rob. So,
I got it on now. So
yeah, so that's 42. That's 42.
Yeah. Yeah.
we're having some audio issues here, so I should
Plug in real quick.
Yeah, just slightly. Just slightly.
Oh, that's fine. I got the headphones here, so just talk real quick while I get these plugged in.
Yeah. Anyways, like we've noted, they're actually the two top teams. I don't know if we've just recently discussed this, but they're the two top teams on KenPom.com. Villanova number 1, North Carolina number 2. Nova being number 1 after their crazy night last night in terms of shooting the basketball is pretty expected, to say the least. So that wasn't much of a surprise. They've been efficient like that for most of the season. So up to now, North Carolina has also been at the top. And this is only, in case you're wondering how often this has happened in the KenPom era, this is the third time that number 1 is facing number 2. The previous 2 instances were North Carolina facing Illinois back in 2005 and in 2008 when Kansas faced Memphis. So every other time it's been kind of a mixed bag, but this time we're getting the 2 teams in, and Blackhawks score again. So it's 4-0. That's getting out of hand over at the United Center.
You're ahead of me. Oh.
Yeah.
Oh.
Yep. It was Taves.
Okay. Well, yeah. Not going to get off topic here.
Yeah, it's getting out of hand in Chicago real quick. Anyways.
Yeah, I might switch to the baseball game real quick.
Anyway, yeah. So this is a match of not only 2 really great teams; it's a match of 2 teams who are very efficient at what they do. So
I think there's a lot of Kansas in this game for Villanova, whereas I think North Carolina's got the better bigs, but Villanova's got the advantage with the guards. Yeah,
even though Joel Berry and Marcus Page are certainly no slouches. You tried out Archidiakono Brunson, who's consistently improving throughout this NCAA tournament run. It's really been fun to watch. Yeah. And, of course, Josh Hart, too, plus, Phil Booth as a backup. So guard play is going to be fun to watch. And I think the forward play will be interesting to watch, too, because I'm interested in seeing how Meeks and Bryce Johnson face up with Jenkins and Ochefu and company. So that should be this really, from top to bottom, is going to be a very, very fun matchup to watch. I think that even though the NCAA tournament after the first weekend has been kind of lackluster, I think that this national championship game, unless something ridiculous happens, it should deliver the goods. It really should.
Yeah. Yeah, I mean, there's no shortage of stuff to watch tomorrow night between...
No, absolutely not. No. Wait. Was North Carolina favored?
Against who?
Against Villanova? Or was Villanova favored against North Carolina?
I think it was North Carolina by 2, from what I saw.
Well, now Villanova is favored by 1 with a 56% chance of winning.
Oh, you're just talking KenPom. No, KenPom, Villanova's always been favored.
Oh, okay, yeah.
In Vegas, it was...
Yeah, no, North Carolina opened up as a 2-point favorite in Vegas. That much I remember. I did not know that Villanova was favored. I thought North Carolina was. So.
Yeah.
Okay, that makes sense.
Yeah. So, yeah, like I said, Villanova or North Carolina's not going to shoot themselves out of the game.
Yeah, exactly.
Let's see, what else here? What
Your
else?
your audio keeps like muting for some reason.
Yeah, I don't. um, what else do we have to break down here?
We talked about guard play. We talked about forward play. Chris Jenkins is going to be someone that's going to be interesting to see how they defend. I guess they could probably put Justin Jackson on him since he's a similar size, but he's definitely going to create some matchup issues for them. So that's going to be that. I think is going to be where one of the bigger facets that North Carolina or Villanova could win here.
Yeah,
Because as I meant, Jenkins, he can score inside, he can score outside. He's been living outside really, and I do wonder who UNC is going to put on him and how they're going to defend him because he's been on a tear for like the last month.
yeah. Just talk real quick about John Paquette dropping the mic last night.
Yes, that was fun.
Oh, well, the game was played in a football stadium.
Of course.
Yeah, here we are. I don't think there's a ton to break down about this game. I know we got a big preview coming in the morning. But I did just want to hop on here real quick and because we've been doing it.
Yeah, exactly.
So, I didn't ask for any questions or anything today. So this is going to be one of our shorter ones, I think.
Yeah, it does seem that way.
But, you're only talking about one game instead of, and I mean, we haven't even been able to really switch into off-season mode yet. I mean, we started doing some other stuff last week, but it's been tough.
Yeah, it's been very tough. It's been very tough.
All anyone wants to read about is Villanova.
Which is understandable because, we're getting to a point that we've never been to before. So, uncharted territory.
Yeah. And, if you're not following VU Hoops,
you should be.
Most of their guys are down there. Kim and Kaylee and John are down there. You should be following them. We're not down there, but
nope.
Maybe
that's okay.
Maybe we'll go to Phoenix next year.
Yeah, you never know.
So let's. Oh yeah. Well, been a lot made about a couple things. Villanova or North Carolina beat Villanova in 2005 and 2009 en route to their titles.
Mm-hmm.
I mean, that doesn't really matter now. It's just more of a fun anecdote.
Yeah. So we'll see if they can make it 3 times in a row, or if this can be the third time. If the third time's the charm for Villanova in terms of beating North Carolina.
Yeah, I mean, and I think a lot has to be made about the job that Jay Wright has done. Not even just this year, just since he's been there in general. Turning them into a national power. Because those first couple of years were rough, and even it was rough the freshman year of Ochefu and
Archidiakono.
Yeah, they went 13-19 their freshman year.
Yeah, they definitely suffered a little bit, which was rare under Wright, and in their time in the Big East, it was one of the first times since they first started there that they were.
No, they went 13-19, and then Ochefu and Archidiakono came in the next year.
Yeah, and they went 2014. Well, yeah, that was the year before them. Yeah, you're right.
Yeah.
That was still the Malik Waynes era.
That was Javon Pinkston's freshman year.
Yeah.
And Hilliard.
Yes.
Let's see. Another storyline you'll be hearing about: Chris Jenkins and
Joel Berry. Legal brothers because they have the same guardian.
So that's nice. That's a cool thing. It's Nate Britt.
Yeah, Nate Britt. That's it. Yeah, not Joel Berry. Nate Britt. Yeah, and I remember it was a big deal because Villanova had won the Elite Eight, and then Jenkins came to watch Britt at the Philly regional.
Yeah. So I mean, win or lose, it's a good year for Villanova. I mean, it goes without saying, but
yeah, of course.
And I don't want to jump too far into next year, but they have a chance to be even better next year.
Yep.
Yeah, I know maybe not better, but they're not going anywhere. I'll tell you that much.
Yeah, exactly. So they'll have Brunson, they'll have Hart, they'll have Omari Spellman, they'll have
Oh, Blackhawks scored again.
Yep, 5 goals now. 5 goals. It's absurd. Boston is just getting creamed right now. So yeah, Villanova will definitely. They're just getting started, and they're gonna keep trucking along here.
So just real quick, we want to make a pick for the game.
I picked North Carolina the whole way, and I can't really flip flop. So unfortunately, guys, I'm sticking with the Heels because I cannot flip flop from a prediction I had all the way back in November. But I will say I won't be disappointed, obviously, if Villanova wins.
Well, no, I mean,
I'm sticking with my conviction here. I think North Carolina wins a close one. Let's call it 75-70, and I think Bryce Johnson winds up winning Most Outstanding Player.
Okay.
Not really going out on a limb there or anything like that, but
no, I think I'm going to take Villanova. It's not going to be a blowout like it was yesterday, certainly, but it'll be tense like the Kansas game. And it's been a great season. Let's have one more great game to end it with. Because
exactly.
Neither game yesterday was very good.
No.
So that might be about it here.
Yep, that's about it. See, I'm posting another powdered toast man GIF, which is great.
Of course.
But yeah.
We actually made it through without talking about WrestleMania.
Which was surprising. It's not going to I'm not sure if it's going to be a great show. I don't have any high expectations for it at all whatsoever, which means it could do better than that, but you know how it works. Still, the way they market the show, the way that it's such a spectacle, it'll look great. But I mean, for a freaking WrestleMania card, this card is just awful.
It's like I told you in the pre-show, though. Your great wrestling show was Friday.
Yeah, but again, that shouldn't happen. They should do better than this, and I cannot freaking stand this mentality that they have, where they have to give everyone a freaking participation ribbon, essentially, or a paycheck. Like, if they want to do that so badly, then just keep everything on the damn pre-show. Which is another thing. Did you see yesterday that apparently they had a meeting with all the members of the roster where they're like, oh yeah, if you're on the pre-show, you're still on WrestleMania. It doesn't matter. Don't think any otherwise. Who are you trying to fool?
Well, they used to do the Battle Royal thing as a dark match before. Yeah. I'll watch the Battle Royal. I'm not gonna watch the other two pre-show matches because I don't watch Ryback matches and I don't care about the other one.
I want to watch that match because I want to see how much of a freaking train wreck it's going to be, because they have some competition with the 7-on-7 women's match that was back in Survivor Series 2013, which was voted the worst match of the year that year by the Wrestling Observer newsletter. And I want to see if it gives that any competition. I think it could. I honestly think it could. I think it could be one of the worst matches in WrestleMania history and wrestling history too, because there's so much crap in that match. And It's actually kind of unfortunate because for two reasons. One, though I said that there's a lot of crap in the match, there's some good talent in that ring. I mean, Emma's really good. I don't think the world of Paige anymore. I think she's regressed like hell, but she has something in her.
Yeah.
Summer's pretty solid too. I can't really name any. Well, I mean, Naomi's okay, but she botches everything. But the other thing is, this is Brie Bella's last match, and it's her, her retirement and everything.
Yep.
And they decided that it would be a good idea to put Heat Magnet and Drizzling Shits Eva Marie in the match, who's going to garner all the attention. She's going to garner all the heat from every person in that stadium, and all the attention is going to go to her when it could be on Brie because it's her last match.
Yeah.
So I feel bad for her in that regard, that she has to go out in a match where no one's going to give a shit about her.
Yeah.
Everyone's going to care about Eva because everyone doesn't like her. So it's like, oh, you essentially just screwed someone who's retiring out of a nice little moment because you had to shoehorn Eva into a pointless match when you could have just kept it free. They could have just left it well enough alone and kept it 4-on-4 and just been done with it. But no, they had to shoehorn Emma into it too, which didn't make much sense at all. And they had to shoehorn Eva into it because, again, they have this mentality right now that, everyone has to participate in this show. We can't have it be the best show. No, it has to be, everyone has to get on the card somehow because we have to not make everyone feel bad. No, you don't. Make the best card. If someone gets left off, sucks. It's the same thing with the freaking ladder match. Like, really? Zack Ryder, who's been in NXT for the last year, and I could count on, like, 2 hands how many – I can count with 2 fingers how many matches he's won since 2014 on Raw. 1, 2. That's it. I'm done. I'm done counting. That's how much he's won since 2014. And you're going to just shoehorn him into a ladder match for the Intercontinental title, and I'm supposed to care about that title. I'm supposed to act like it means something. But you're going to just throw him out of nowhere into that match. And you're like, oh, yeah, he deserves it. The hell he does. You know when he deserved it? 2011, when he was busting his butt, and they didn't care enough about him, and they freaking essentially threw him under the bus and stopped giving a shit about him because – he didn't get over, he got over on his own. And that's a problem, of course. And that's looked at as, something negative. Like, no. You had your chance to make him something legit 5 years ago. You didn't do it. And now everyone's, he deserves it. He's worked so hard. Well, you know what? No one cares about him anymore.
Yeah.
No one does because they rode him into the ground. And now he's nothing.
Yeah.
But now he's participating in an Intercontinental title match in 2016 on a WrestleMania card. Screw that.
Yep.
Screw that. I'm going on a rant here. I'm sorry. But it bothers me. It's annoying. I don't feel like it's necessary to throw everyone on the card all willy-nilly for no freaking reason, especially people who've had no involvement whatsoever on the main roster or on any of these shows for the last week and a half. Like, if that's the case, you don't need to make a multi-man match. You don't.
Yeah.
You just don't. It doesn't have to be that way.
Yeah. Anyway.
Anyways.
If you would like full WrestleMania coverage,
Follow us on Twitter.
Is your hookup or us? Yes, but
Cage Side Seats and SB Nation, Bill Hanstock, Gina Morasco, Sean Reuter. I hope I pronounced that right. I think I did though.
Yeah.
All at S1 Rude. Is your move there? Yes, follow them because they do great work. So, and they'll be covering everything from top to bottom tonight. We'll be endorsing them. So, yeah, that's a wrap from there.
Yeah. Sorry, I had to move our fantasy baseball draft back to tonight.
God,
I know it's a mess.
Anyways, yeah.
But yeah, go Villanova. I imagine we'll be back sometime next week, regardless of the result. I don't know for sure what day yet, but make it happen.
Pretty much, yeah.
All right, so that'll do it from here.
Yep, that'll do it. Again, I ranted a little bit because sometimes that happens. It's not as great as my Wichita State rant from way back when.
Are you wearing a Miami shirt right now?
I am wearing a Miami shirt. Yeah, it was the first shirt I grabbed. Sorry.
You're the worst kind of person.
Sorry about it. Hey, they lost, so who cares?
That's true.
Villanova beat the crap out of them, so sorry about it.
All right, so take us out.
Yep, so thank you for joining us. Thank you for putting up with my wrestling rant, as you've probably put up with all weekend. Anyways, we'll be back Tuesday, I would suspect.
Probably.
What happens.
Yep.
Likely. Possibly. We'll see what happens.
Yep.
Hopefully we'll be celebrating. If not, we'll be eulogizing,
Yep.
which isn't the worst thing in the world. And yeah, that's a wrap. Stick with us for the final 2 days of the season as we send college basketball out, hopefully on a high note and not a middle note or a low note. And for Rob, I'm Chris. Thanks for joining us this season on BigEastCoastBias.com and on our weekly hangouts that we hope to continue on for next year and beyond. And we will see you later. So, salute.